Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I'm Dr. Steve Grinstead, author of the book Freedom from Suffering, Journey of Hope, and someone living with my own chronic pain for over 32 years. Today, I want to talk about pain flare-ups, more specifically about my recent pain flare-up. Now, a lot of times my pain might flare up for no reason, but yesterday there was definitely a reason. I made a bad decision. And one of the things that I've learned over the years is I do have limits, and sometimes I don't want to face those because I don't want to admit, for example, that I'm getting older. I'm 63 years old now. I don't want to admit that I've got a chronic pain condition that precludes me from doing certain physical things without paying for it later. And yesterday I convinced myself it was an emergency. Our skylight was starting to fall down. It came loose at two ends. And unfortunately, I needed a 12-foot ladder, and I only had a 10-foot ladder. So I decided to do it anyway. So I got up on the ladder, up near the top step, the second to the top step, and stretched way out to try to get the skylight put back on the clips. And it slipped, then I slipped, I twisted my back, and immediately it was like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Why did I do this? And fortunately, though, I've learned over the years to not turn it into a crisis, so I had to start practicing some of the things I teach my patients. The first thing I needed to do was to stop beating myself up in my head. I needed to turn that negative thinking off, and I needed to say, breathe, relax. I needed to do the pause, relax, reflect, decide, and then do. And I did it in a really short manner because I've practiced this so many times. The first thing I did was to take some slow, deep breaths to loosen up my muscles, stretch lightly, just trying to do an inventory. How much did I tweak this? Then immediately I went and took a couple ibuprofen to get ahead of the inflammation that I'm sure was going to be coming. And then I took a few more minutes just to sit, relax, and breathe. And then I got back into some activities for about an hour, went home, and here's the second part I made a bad decision. At that point, I should have immediately got on an ice pack, and I waited. I waited a little about an hour and a half, and then I finally, after it causing me much distress, because when my pain levels get up high, and it got up to about a level 7, and for me that's way higher than usual. Usually my pain runs about 2 or 3, and most of my flare-ups don't get above a 6. This one was between 7 and 8. And I knew that it was causing problems because I found myself being short-tempered and not very compassionate with my partner Ellen, and caused a little bit of a distressing argument which actually amplified my pain a little bit. And I finally caught it, and I said, you know, I need to put myself in timeout. And so I did. I went and got the ice pack. It was about an hour and a half before my usual bedtime, but I said, I really need to do this. So I took the ice pack, went to bed, put on my headphones with self-hypnotic pain relief CD going, and I went to sleep. This morning I woke up and it was still hurting, but not as bad as it was the night before. So again, the action I took this time was I went and got in the hot tub and soaked for about 10-15 minutes, and stretched out gently but thoroughly, then got out and got on ice again and took a few more ibuprofen. And I've been a little bit gingerly moving around today, really, trying to be careful not to overdo, and I'm feeling like it's definitely settling down. These are just some of the things that I help people do when they have their pain flare-ups. Now, this one had a strong psychological emotional component as I was getting into some interactions with my partner about business stuff last night, and not catching it until I heard myself being very negative and non-compassionate with her. And then it was like, oh yeah, I'm really hurting right now, and I'm having it come out sideways. I need to stop. One of the techniques I recommend is just a simple 5-step process. The first step is pause. So I need to put myself in timeout. While I'm in that timeout, I need to relax. So by doing this, I take some slow, deep breaths to bring my stress down, and when my stress comes down, my pain comes down. Then the third step is to reflect. I need to reflect on, okay, what's going on? What happened? What do I need to do? What kind of authentic action do I need to get into? And then the fourth step was to make the decision of what to do, and the final step is to do it. So pause, relax, reflect, decide, and do. And these are just simple things that I've internalized over the years that I try to help my patients learn too. I really have got it that I don't want to suffer again. I did that the first 2 years of my pain management. And fortunately, I haven't had to do that for a long time because I really get in and focus on getting into authentic action. I do not want to be a passive recipient of pain management. I need to be the captain in my own team, being out there on the field doing my own pain management like I encourage, coach, and sometimes cheerlead my patients to do. Freedom from suffering is a right, and it's also a responsibility. And I want to be a responsible person. I hope this was helpful for you, and please come back for future blogs. I really appreciate you watching these videos. Thank you so much.